Well, hello, stamping friends. This is Tracy Rather from Plum Crazy Stamping, and today is Wednesday, August 14th, and time for our weekly card making lesson. Today, I'm going to do something for those of you that are either a gardener or have a gardener in your life, in light of using the Garden Meadow stamp set today. And if you're someone that likes to make fun folds, we're going to make a fun fold card today. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get started. Let me just ask that as you sign in, please use the comments to share your name and where you're watching from. And if you're on YouTube, please do the same, but make sure you are either signed into your Google account or your YouTube account to do that. All right, let's get started. There we go. And let's go ahead and look at the supplies we're going to need today for our fun fold. So we're going to start with a piece, and this is a half of a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, but today we have it cut 4 1/4 by 11, and then folding it in half on the score line of 5 1/2. Okay, so just a little bit different. All right, and then we're going to make kind of an unusual card front, and we have a piece of, let's see, I believe this is 4 inches by 9 3/4. And so I'm going to need to, let me just check my measurements here. Of course, I can't see them right now. There they are. Okay, and then I'm going to score this one at 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. So let me go ahead and get my trimmer up here so we can do the scoring. Put you back just a little bit here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I want to make sure that I have already trimmed this. I think I did, but let me double check. So we're going to look for this to be 9 inches long. Oh, I might not have. And let me check it this way. 4 inches. Nope, guess what? We're going to trim the whole thing here. So let's first go 4 inches this way. Okay. And then 9 3/4 this way. Okay, so we're cutting a little bit off of what was half of an 8.5 by 11. And then I'm going to go ahead and score this at 2 1/4. Get my scoring blade in place here. And then I'm going to do it again at 4 1/2. So let's get this up here. There we go. Oh, and I just cut it. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, I'm going to have to start over. Now I'm sure, there I go. I have one of these. Good thing I have my pre-cut cardstock next to where I'm making this, so I don't have to go into my filing cabinet here. So let's do that again. 9 3/4. All right. Oh wait, I do have one of these. I had taken the one I was going to stamp on to use. So here we go. This is already scored at the right length. Save us a little time. And let me just go ahead and fold this for you. So we're going to fold up first for this card front. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold this front flap down. So once again, those were at 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. And then our card front is actually going to look like this. So we have an extra flap And this will also help this card to stand up because we have this other flap in there, all right? But we're going to go ahead and decorate this using a piece of 6x6 designer series paper from, this is the Thoughtful Journey designer series paper. And we are going to actually use a piece of this cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And one of the things that I'll want to do is decide what part of this design I want to use, because it is going to be visible right here on the front. So I can get this back out, and I'm really liking this area up here with some of the detail put into it. So let's see, 5 inches high. So I'm going to cut off the bottom here at 5 inches. And then I want to, focus on this part of the design right there. So I'm going to keep the 3 3/4, on this side of the cut line, and go ahead and cut that. And now I've got my card front like that. And now I want to decorate that with something that is kind of matches the colors here. So I decided to use the designer series paper that is the 6x6 of the in colors, because this is peach pie and that's peach pie. So when you open this up all the way, we have 2 panels, both of them being 3 3/4 by 2 inches. And so I'm just going to actually line them up like this so that we'll have all those beautiful colors when this opens, and when it closes, you'll see this, okay? So now, instead of taking all the time to glue that all together, let me just show you what we've created just with these different pieces of paper. And then I'm going to pull out here, if I don't have them all mixed up. Let's make sure I've got all the white pieces that I need. So one of the things that you can do is, if you like this just the way that it is, you can put a greeting on here. You can leave this the way that it is. You can put a special design of something inside here, but then you still get to open this for the inside message. We're actually going to create some things to go within all those panels and do some stamping today. So let me just double check the measurements of all this. So let's see here. Yeah, that's the right. This is too short. Let's see if we've got the long enough one, or if I have to cut that. Not that one. Oh yeah, I think I'm good. So this is going to be the insert panel inside the full card. So we're going to set that out because we're going to stamp that. And then we're going to make 2 additional patterns, or message panels. And they're cut a little bit different in size, so that when I put one down in the front, the larger of the 2 is 2 5/8 by 4 inches. And then I have 2 1/4 by 3.5 inches. And that way, when this closes, you won't see the one that is behind here. Okay, so they're both going to have designs on them as well. And then I'm going to do something for the front. All right. So I need that scrap piece of paper I had out here before. Maybe this one will do. And we're going to do all of our stamping. Let me just kind of keep this in line here. I need to bring in my Pierce mat, because this is a photopolymer set. So as I said, this is called Garden Meadow, and this, as well as the dies that go along with it, are in our online exclusives. So you will not find them in the catalog, but you will find them in online exclusives, okay? So let's go ahead and let's first just make our card insert. And so this is, I'm making a birthday card. So I am going to put inside here, I can't imagine having a better friend. So we'll go ahead and ink that up. Now I am going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black for all of this stamping because some of it is going to get colored with Stampin' Blend markers. So I kind of want all of this to go together. And we'll just stamp that kind of near the top. All right. And then we're going to get that out of our way. Let's put just some little birds on the inside here. There are so many images and stamps in this stamp set. I really, really like it. So, and since there's so many images, you know, take advantage of it, right? Might as well have a little bit of something on every page. So there is the insert to our card. We're done with that. Now we're going to do the larger of the message panels. And this is going to be the one that shows on the very front. So this one's going to be Thinking of You. And what's really neat about this fun fold is they just get to keep opening, and there's more and there's more, and that's kind of fun. So adding these additional panels just make this more fun. And the other thing is this has so many stamping images that I didn't even have to use different stamp sets. I could stick with the one you know, that I started with. Now this one I'm going to put a little tuft of flowers on as well. All right, we'll kind of put that down on this edge on the corner. So there we go. And now let's do this inside panel, which is actually the happy birthday. And I'm going to put that, oh, actually accidentally touched it there. There we go with our happy birthday. And little watering can in this set. Put this down in the corner. Okay, this stamp set is so detailed, I actually forgot to get out the little piece. There's a little piece of ground that goes there so that you can actually make sure that your watering can isn't kind of like floating in the air. So let me just get this on a little stamping block here. I'm going to actually clean this one and use it. So sometimes these pieces are easily overlooked in your stamp set. So kind of look at them closely, what you have to work with. You know, I was setting this up and I've used it before. And like I said, almost forgot it. So let me just set it here. Get it put on here. And now this time I'll have to match this to the bottom of the watering can instead of putting this in place first. Okay. Excuse my head there. See what a difference it makes when it's grounded versus just floating. Okay, and then I have some flowers to add on here. I'm not kidding you, I'm going all out here. All right, and we'll put that kind of matching right down here like it's going to get watered. Okay. Then I have some stamping here that I want to stamp and then cut out using the embossing folder because these are the things that are going to decorate the very front of the card. So we've got a basket of flowers. And we've got a wheelbarrow full of flowers. Now, remind you, when it's a large stamp like this, it's easier just to turn your ink upside down to do this. So hi, Bonita, Betty, and Patricia. Nice to see you. Kathy, hello. And Kelly, hello. All right, let's see if I've got all the there's a lot of detail in this stamp, so let's go ahead and get that stamped as well. All right, so we've got all of our stamping done now. So I can just kind of set these all off to the side. Like the lid back on my ink there. Okay. Now, to save time, I have already used my dies to die cut out the wheelbarrow and the flowers. Okay, so we have those. And now we'll go ahead and do some coloring. So let me have a extra piece of paper, because remember, the likelihood that these could bleed through is, you know, the real deal here. So let's see, I want some gray for my wheelbarrow, and so smoky slate is going to be the choice here. I think my basket I want to do in light crumb cake. I don't know if I have the, let's see here. This one is Pebbled Path and Light Pebbled Path. I might do that for the wheel. And then I have Dark Crumb Cake and Light Crumb Cake. All right, so when you use Stampin' Right, or not Stampin' Right markers, the Stampin' Blends, remember these are alcohol markers. They are sold in pairs, and there's a light and a dark so that we can do shading. And the wonderful thing about alcohol markers is it doesn't leave lines, and you can actually shade things to see dimension in your images. So let's do our wheelbarrow first. So you can do dark to light or light to dark, depending upon your comfort with that. I like to do light over the whole image, then I do dark to highlight, and then I come back with my light to blend it in. So let me try to start here with the brush tip. So there is a brush tip and there is a nib tip, which is less likely to kind of curve a little bit. And I'm just going to color in my wheelbarrow, trying to stay in the black lines because this is an alcohol marker. It can run a little bit, and you don't want it outside the black lines, although if you do, we have something called a color lifter that can help you correct that, which is very nice. Okay, let's get all that silver. And then there's a dark rim in here that I'm also going to hit, but I'm probably going to make sure that I get that with the dark color as well. But in case I miss it, I'm going to do it right now. Okay. And then I think I'm going to have the other metal part of the wheelbarrow be dark, just like when I'm going to highlight around the edges here of this. Okay, so I've got the light in place. Now we'll go with the dark. And like I said, I'm going to use the nib this time to control a little bit better where I'm going. And just kind of get in between these leaves. Okay, and where I may want to do a little highlighting is kind of at the back here, maybe a little bit of the bottom. Maybe just a little bit here. And then I'm going to just blend that back using the nib and just kind of blend that in. So you can see that's a little darker. All right, and then I'm going to go around the metal part of the wheelbarrow with the darker and just using the nib. And that already has shadows with the black from what the artist had put in the stamp. So I'm not going to be highlighting any of this. I'm just going to leave it the darker gray color. Okay. And then let me look at how this tire looks with our pebbled path. You know what, I'm going to try this right next to it first and see if I like that brown color. I think it's all right. I might use the lightener on it. But let me just go ahead and color in the tire. Our focal point's going to be the flowers, but I haven't used this marker yet, so it's nice to see what color it is. These are just so smooth to use. And you know what? Maybe putting just a couple little marks in here to give it a little dimension and detail. And then go over it again with that lighter one to kind of just blend that in. Okay. There we go. All right, now for flowers, you know, these are really, really tiny, so I am not going to go ahead and do much shading. So let's see what colors I have here. Daffodil Delight. Daffodil Delight. Now, I love that one. I don't know how much I may be running out of color there. What's this one? So saffron might work. We've got another kind of flower in the back there. I think dark blackberry bliss. I'd rather have a light purple. Let's see what we have here. Here's dark fresh freesia. And some of these colors are so close to one another. What are these? Orchid Oasis is a beautiful purple. Here's the orange. The two tones of that. So let's go ahead and do the yellows, and then I'm going to need a green. Dark Old Olive. Let's see. Oh, light Granny Apple Green too. Whatever one I find the second matching one. I need to get these organized. I usually have them in something, but I've been doing so much coloring, they've been ending up just back in this little plastic shoebox. Light Mossy Meadow. Boy, we're going to have a lot to choose from. Well, let's just go with one of those. Okay, so let's start with our dark Daffodil Delight, just so these little flowers are standing out a little bit. So I'm just coloring these solid. Like I said, you know, could I do texture and all that in it? Probably. but sometimes I just choose to do straight up coloring. So let's see. Hi, Sue. Hi, Holly. So I'm curious, how many of you use stamping blends? And what's either your favorite thing or what challenge do you have with your stamping blends? I'm curious. I know a lot of people haven't tried them, and I know there's a lot of people that swear by them. So I'm kind of curious, what your experience has been with these. So there we go with the yellow. Where's my little basket of flowers here? Let me just do those yellow too quick. So, once I started using them, they're my, my coloring tool of choice. Now for other things, I try watercolor, markers, pencils. The Stampin' Write markers, I more do to color my stamps if I want a multicolored image before I stamp it. That works great because these do not work to put color on your cling stamps, only your Stampin' Write markers. Okay, so we've got the yellow. Let's go ahead and add this Orchid Oasis Light. I don't think it gets enough love here, so I'm going to use it today. And we're going to do these purple flowers that are in the background. I think that's a really nice flower color to go along with our yellow. And I'm just doing little dots instead of coloring this straight in. And if I want to do an accent with this, I can actually just take the dark marker and make more dots in the darker color, and that's why I'll do that second. All right, we've got all of those in place, so let me just hit this a couple times with the dark marker so you can see what that would look like. So see that you can see that the blossoms on those have kind of two different colors. So maybe some look like they're more open than the others. Let's see. We'll go with dark granny apple green here for our leaves. And once again, these are real small, so I'm not going to do the shading. Just going to put the green in. All right, and then let's do a little bit on the basket here. Now you could color in all of the little images that were stamped, but I'm just going to do these that are on the front of the card and leave the other ones black and white. So, every time when I'm making a card, I kind of decide where do I want to make the accent, especially if you have limited time, then you kind of need to pick, what you can spend the time coloring. But the black and white images are very pretty too. All right, now we just need a nice brown for our basket. And let's see, this one is, nope, I'm going to use the crumb cake. So let's see. Oh, thanks, Kathy. And you use the blends, but you use the color lifter most. Oh, I get it. And colored pencils and Gamsol the best. I'm not sure what Gamsol is. Kelly, you use them too. You only have a few. Yeah, I have started with a few and I keep adding to my collection. Kathy, thank you for liking this and sharing this. I really appreciate your passing the information on to others. I would appreciate it. That's the biggest compliment you can give, is sharing what I share with you with others. All right, let's see. We've got a little bit of the basket there. Okay, and then this one I am just going to take the darker one and hit some of these details that they've put in the basket, as well as the outline of the basket. That will give it a little definition. And then I do need to go back though and blend that. Okay. And so what Kathy is talking about when she put her comment in there, so we have the thing called the color lifter. So another thing that you can do is using this color lifter makes it look like there's some light shining on something. So I'm going to take this and just put it on the side of the wheelbarrow a little bit. And it actually removes some of the ink. So if you go outside the lines, you can do this. But I like that this adds another dimension of detail. So let me just show that to you, how after coloring the whole thing, using the color lifter makes that look shiny. So, we have a new wheelbarrow, not a rusty one. And then, the little flowers in that basket, okay? So like I said, you could do these other things if you wanted, but with the time today, I want to show you the finished card. So let's go ahead and put this together. And I'm going to get my glue today, and we'll want some dimensionals. So I have large and regular, or regular and small, I guess I should say. Okay, so the very inside of the card, we'll put in first. And now full glue, be careful, right? Comes out really fast when you first open it. And just going to center this on the inside of the card. Okay. And now we'll go to the front. And so as I'm putting these in place, I'm going to look at what center looks like with this. Just kind of put that in place. And then know that I can center over this. Okay, so I'm going to do that in just 2 steps. So this one actually gets glued right in. This is the smaller of the 2 message panels. And I'm just going to center that inside. Okay. And now this next one, I'm just going to be gluing on the flap. And I want to make sure that I've got that covered. And it's also centered, so it looks nice. And then, let me just flip this over here. I'm going to estimate, if I hold this like this, I can see how far down my panel's going, right? So put the glue right there, hold it in place, and I did the slide back. Okay. So you've got that. I don't know. Nope. I'm going to put this, if it covers that up a little bit, it does, but I am going to adhere this with my mini glue dots, or dimensionals here. Now you could just glue it flat down if you want. To get the little bit of the 3D effect. So that stands up. Even this is a little bit in front of it, but that's fine. And then we're going to set a little basket of flowers. Or do I want them to sit in here? Well, the problem with putting them here is that sometimes it's upside down and sometimes it's upside right. I'm trying to think where I like those better. Maybe it's just too much. Well, you know what? I like it down in there, in the corner, because it brings in a little bit of the coloring. Oops, too much glue. All right. So I'll just kind of nestle that right down there in the corner. All right. So that is our whole card. So you can open it like this, and then you open it like this. And it will stand up if you put open the back. You know, that's really nice. I really like to do cards that people can display. You know, then they can enjoy them more than just taking them out of the envelope. So, Holly, thank you. Thanks. I'm glad you loved this fun fold and that you liked it. So if you're interested in getting the tutorial for this, now that will be in my email next week. So if you're not on my mailing list, please sign up. When I post this project, I will have the information to get on the weekly emails where you'll find the tutorial. So, hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. Anyway, let me go back so that I can just say thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your interest and being a part of the Plum Crazy stamping community. So I'll be back next week, Wednesday, with another free card making lesson. I'll look forward to seeing you then. And if there's anything you need in between, you can reach me at Tracy, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. I'm here to make stamping easy for you. Have a wonderful week and happy stamping. Bye-bye.